For a week it's been quiet in Gaza. It was, in truth, a passing moment of peace. The streets filled with smoke and dust as bombs began to fall once again. People immediately rushed to search for loved ones and neighbours trapped in the rubble, desperately scrabbling by hand. Houses and apartment blocks smashed to pieces. This had gone on for weeks, but it's back with a vengeance. Sky News teams inside Gaza say the intensity of the attacks is as bad as it ever has been. For civilians caught up in this war, who started it again is probably of little consequence. They just want it all to stop. The bodies of the dead, shrouded in white, were laid together. Such a familiar, sad scene now. A woman, watched on by a little girl, gently stroked the body of a relative. We don't know who it is. In hospitals, staff struggle to deal with the new influx of injured from the bombardment. The medical centres of Gaza are already stretched to breaking point. Israel says Hamas is responsible for this, saying the group fired rockets, breaking the ceasefire.
We were prepared to see the continuation of the ceasefire. But not only did they not keep their commitments, and you can check this with your reporters on the ground, they opened fire. They started shooting rockets at 5:30 this morning into Israel. It's clear that Hamas violated the agreement. It's clear that Hamas started this round of fighting.
With negotiations over extending the ceasefire deadlocked, it was probably inevitable that hostilities would resume.
The Israeli Prime Minister has always said that whatever happens with the hostages, the war in Gaza would resume and would continue until Hamas is destroyed. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be more ceasefires to allow hostages out, but all the indicators are that this is going to be a grinding campaign and there is no end date set.
What happens to the hundreds of thousands in the south of Gaza is the greatest concern for the international community now. Already there is a mass exodus further south, these families leaving the city of Khan Yunis. Many on horses and carts or in cars packed full, carrying entire families and any possessions they can cram on board. Others move south on foot.
We're lost. We don't know where to go. We have no relatives in Rafah. We don't know anyone there. We have only our God.
The leaflet dropped by Israeli forces. A QR code links it to an interactive map dividing Gaza into block numbers. The IDF says the map will help residents evacuate. But thousands remain in the north. This school is full of people seeking shelter. It's in the Jabalia refugee camp, far from the relative safety of the south. A fire burns next to the building after an Israeli airstrike. As the fighting intensifies, they simply can't move. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Southern Israel.